Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. Today, we are going to be discussing is Congress secular to simply appease? We'll tell you the math. The math, how it pans out in the state of Congress-ruled Telangana, where interestingly, there's about 12% of Muslims, but out of those 12%, 80% of them are now going to be put into the reserved PC category. So they will then enjoy the backward class quota. How is a 12% population of Telangana now all set to get as much as 80% reservation? Out of those 12%, 10% of them, which is 10% of the population of Muslims who are there in Telangana, overall population's 10%, all set for a 80% reservation. Well, we are going to break down the math for you, tell you what exactly are the numbers which are simply not adding up. Well, remember, they say that all is fair in love and war. So is minority appeasement justified when it comes to the Congress party, even if the math doesn't add up? Well, on this edition of the Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, I'm going to decode for you the Telangana Quota Conundrum. Now, viewers, remember, the Revanth Reddy government is pushing for a 42% reservation for backward classes or OBCs in local body elections, in education, as well as the employment sector. In fact, a bill has been passed by the Telangana cabinet. It is sent over to the governor in March, who further sent it to the president for an approval. But a lot of politics has already started happening around it. But before I go to the politics, let's explain the math behind it. Is the chemistry going to add up? Will the chronology really ensure this? And more importantly, does this really add up mathematically? Here is the proposal. Well, this is the proposal as it comes in. This, remember, is in the state of Telangana, where interestingly, when you look specifically at local body polls, what is the current status of local body polls? 33% of the current OBC quota is currently given. What the Revanth Reddy government wants to do is hike this 33%, take it up to 42%. So in local body polls, the reservation which is going to be there for the backward classes will then spike up to 42%. What about the state government jobs, all the sarkari nokris that everyone's angling for? Where currently you have 29%, which is the OBC quota for state jobs. But the proposed is again 42% by Revanth Reddy. Then we look at the education sector. Here, the OBC quota currently stands at 29%, all set to be hiked to 42%. Next, we are going to break it down to you as to why really all of this is being questioned. The math which doesn't add up to the 42% BC quota. Well, there you have it. Currently, you have 4% who are under the BC quota. This is specifically talking about the Muslim population. Remember, this is Muslims in Telangana. In this, what do the Muslims get currently? They get 4% this under the BCE quota. But what happens from here onwards? This is what is proposed, that add Muslims to the 42% BC quota. So from the 4% BCE quota, now they will get 42% in the BC quota, which is now the proposed quota. The entire Muslim population, and this is the interesting bit that I was talking to you at the beginning of the show. What is the total Muslim population of Telangana who are going to benefit from it? Well, the total population is going to be 12.6%. Who is going to benefit from it? Which is 10% out of the 12.6% of the Muslims who will be getting this 42% of BC quota. Remember, they are already part of a quota, but now they become part of a different quota, the BC quota, which is all the way up to 42%. Now, viewers, this, remember, comes at the back of the Revanth Reddy government's social, economic and educational employment, as well as political caste census. So it is the caste survey, which, remember, is at the bottom of this entire rejig, if you may call it, of the quota system. The report was made public in February earlier this year. So what does it say, and why does this really ensure that there is a buzz in the hornet's nest and it's stirred up? Here's what it says. I'm going to read it out for you. As per the survey, the Muslim community accounts for about 12.56% of Telangana's population, of which backward class Muslims make up 10.08%. Only 10.08% of the backward class are of the Muslim population, and the total number of Muslims who are there, the other caste Muslims, comprise of about 2.5. So as per the survey, BCs, the backward classes, including the Muslim class group, forms about 56.33% of the state's total population. Huge amount of the population now gets a reservation. Based on these findings, the Telangana Assembly has passed two key legislations in March as well, increasing the BC quota, the backward class quota, from 27% to 42% in government jobs, educational institutions, urban and rural local body polls as well. Now, this has ignited a political war of words in Telangana, with the BJP calling it minority appeasement. And how this, they say, has the potential to do great injustice to those who are actually backward class. The BRS, meanwhile, has said that both the BJP as well as the Congress are on the same side. As you can see, this is the war of words that we have seen being panning out, saying that BJP, Congress, both of them are on the same side, and this is what the political mileage is expected from them. Well, let's get you the war of words which has been brewing over this.
This is nothing but taking away the rights of the real BCs, real OBCs, while bringing the Muslim reservation in the OBC list. They are in fact curtailing the rights of the entire BC community, and who are the real losers. We appealed all the OBC communities to oppose this Muslim reservation. It's not a BJP policy. One said they are getting in BCB, one said they are getting benefit in 10% of EBC, and now they want to have 10% in local bodies. The reservations were meant only for employment and education, not for political reservation.
Both these parties, BJP and Congress, are playing with the sentiments of the BC sections in the state of Telangana. BRS strongly demands the government of Telangana, the Congress party government, to properly deal with this, show sincerity in getting this done from the center, increase your pressure and efforts. So both the parties are playing with the sentiments and trying to create hurdles at one end and trying to get political mileage. They don't have sincerity towards, implement.
अब इधर असेंबली में सपोर्ट करते हैं, दिल्ली में जाने के बाद बोलते हैं. आपको इन लोगों को ये भी मालूम होना चाहिए, जो मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन 4% भी कोर्ट में फैसला नहीं हुआ, वैसे फैसला में चल रहा है. उसका नाम पे आप ये रिजर्वेशन बीसी को रोकने के लिए बात कहना है ठीक नहीं है. उसके लिए आप जो आपका पार्टी स्टैंड है काम करो. हम बीसी के रिजर्वेशन पूछ रहे, हम मुसलमान का रिजर्वेशन ऐसा नहीं पूछ रहे. जो भी है, मुसलमान है, हिंदू है, क्रिश्चियन है, जो भी है, उनको रिजर्वेशन होना है. जो रिजर्वेशन का कैटेगरी में आता है उसको दो.
Let me go across to Somit, who's joining us live from Hyderabad. Somit, very interesting details which are coming in from the Revanth Reddy Sarkar. Can you break it down to numbers? How is the government justifying the math if the Muslim population is only 12%, to justify 80% of this 12% is going to now get 42%?
Well, that's true, Meghna. See, one thing is very much clear, that BC reservations has become the prime agenda, main political agenda for the Congress party, ruling government, and also the prime opposition, BRS, and also the BJP party, the other prime opposition. So one side, the Congress government is playing politics around this BC reservation, stating that one side BJP saying that they are nothing but appeasing BCs, because there are around several castes, big castes, Yadavs, Mudiraj, and also Vaddara, Padmashali, and several other castes which comes under the BC, and basically they are getting around 29% in the education and employment sector, and 33% when it comes to the local body polls, and that Congress government want to increase to 42%, and meanwhile the Muslims are also getting 4% reservation. Initially it was Congress earlier government tried to increase it to the 5%, but it was later stayed by the Supreme Court, and 4% is being implemented, and they wanted to include 10.6%, that is 80% of the entire Muslim population of the Telangana state in the 42% BC reservation. Later the subcategorization will be done, but they wanted to include this Muslim population, and this is mainly being seen as the prime main appeasement by the BJP. So we need to wait and see how things will turn up, but this has become the main political agenda, main political tussle between the three parties.
Right. Well, keep trying the developments on that front. Very interesting story that you are getting for us, Shomit, because there are literally so many layers behind this. The math is not adding up, but what does add up? Let me tell you what really does add up. Well, the appeasement in Congress's DNA. Why do we say that? Well, look at this. Let's get you a quick reminder of Congress and the kind of history that they have had with appeasement. The Places of Worship Act was a law which, remember, was brought in by the Congress party. The Triple Talaq, remember, that entire law, Rahul Gandhi had diluted the Shah Bano verdict to ensure that Rajiv Gandhi had diluted the Shah Bano verdict to ensure that the Supreme Court did not and could not reign supreme, and it was Rajiv Gandhi who diluted and allowed this to continue, this injustice to continue. The hijab ban, which remember had happened in Karnataka, and Congress there had opposed the ban in the classrooms of Karnataka. Then let's also remember Shaheen Bagh. Shaheen Bagh and the sympathy during the anti-CAA protest. Congress had hailed the 2-year blockade as being peaceful. They said it is peaceful, something that the courts disagreed with the Congress. The UCC, they rejected it. Congress rejected it as BJP's divisive agenda, even though it was ensuring that there is uniformity in civil codes. In fact, there is Congress's manifesto, and I'm going to just quote it from here. This is the manifesto to the Lok Sabha polls 2024, that there is freedom of choice and personal laws for minorities is something that they had guaranteed. So let me go across to our panelists. Who's joining us today? Well, we have NV Subhash, who's joining us, a spokesperson with the BJP. Syed Asad Abbas is joining us, a political analyst as well. Syed Asad Abbas, I'm going to be coming to you first because I'm just going to read out the data here, and we're going to put up those graphics as well so that our viewers get the hang of it. Muslim backward class, and this as per the much touted Telangana model of caste census which was carried out, is only 10.08% of the total backward classes. However, why is it that 80% of the entire Muslim classes, as per the Revanth Reddy government, should get a reservation of 42%?
Let me clearly enunciate the same. The Muslim subcastes have been part of the backward class list since 1979.
The 14 classes, yes.
Much before Revanth Reddy or Congress came into governance in Telangana. While 38 of the 87 backward castes are Muslim subcastes in Madhya Pradesh, which is a BJP ruled state. Not just that, even in Uttar Pradesh it is 5 and Gujarat it is 28. According to the state government's data on the caste survey, the backward class constitute 56.4% of the state population. People from the scheduled caste constitute 17.45% of the population, out of which 10.88% are from scheduled tribes and 10.9% are from scheduled tribes as well. Now coming to the point here, now when we speak of reservation, rightfully you've asked a question, why should 80% of the Muslim population get? Madam, 80% of the Muslim population should get and only get if they genuinely, honestly, honorably, respectfully belong to the backward class or the other backward class or the scheduled tribes, without which it would be unfair. For example, when we speak of Muslim,
in the name of economics, calling them economically backward, is Revanth Reddy Sarkar, is the Congress Sarkar simply trying to give as many Muslims or add as many Muslims to the BC quota? Because clearly the numbers, if you hail the Telangana caste survey, then the numbers are not adding up, because Muslims are only 10% of this backward class, as per your own Telangana survey.
I will answer that. The fact of the matter we need to understand is that when we take up the Rajendra Sachar report, even many of my friends of the BJP do, the Muslims are found to be behind not just scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, the backward class and the other backward classes. Muslims are most behind when it comes to jobs, their standard of living, their economic, sociality and so on and so forth. But the fact is, it's not just the Congress government. Let me quickly share with you the Bharatiya Janata Party government. Gujarat in the last 25 years...
No, let's talk about the Congress. We'll get to that. I'll ask the BJP that. But let's stick to Karnataka right now. You just stepped into that trap by saying Muslims are very backward. Revanth Reddy Sarkar is saying it's not about religion. You are contradicting what the government is saying then.
Not at all, ma'am.
You said it's not about religion. Either it is about religion or it's not.
No. You're getting it all wrong. I kindly request you to please read the Rajinder Sachar committee report.
I have, but I'm talking about the words you just used. You made it about religion. You didn't say it's about the economics behind it. You said it's about religion and not about poverty.
If you would have read, you would have agreed with me. Okay, chalo, Congress galat kar raha hai. Congress is doing Muslim appeasement. Why is BJP doing Muslim appeasement in Gujarat for the last 25 years? No. I need to complete 30 seconds, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Gujarat in the last 25 years has given reservations to Muslim caste, OBC 22 castes. Madhya Pradesh for the last 20 years has given reservations to 27 Muslim castes. Uttar Pradesh under Yogi Adityanath BJP rule has done that. Why is BJP doing Muslim reservation?
I'll concede that point to you. I'll concede that point to you. Answer that. NV Subhash, if it is so very evil for the Congress government to do it in Telangana, why is the BJP government doing it? And BJP government successively have been in power. If even today they want, they can remove it, but they aren't. But they'll go around and criticize the Congress for what the BJP is doing in other states, like Gujarat, like Uttar Pradesh.
Exactly. Assam,
There is the survey which has been done by the Telangana government after Revanth Reddy came to power. The survey was earlier done in when the BRS was in power also, but it was not made public.
Yes.
But the Revanth Reddy government has done the survey, though we claim that it is not scientific method on that. But as far as the reports which have been given, it is 56%. The BCs are in Telangana. And first thing we have to accept on that. From 56%, it has come to 42%. And in that 42%, 10% Muslims being given reservations, though the Muslim community in Telangana has been given reservations in BCE. I think our our friend is not aware of that, and I think he should know about it. So in that BCE also, the Muslim community is coming. There are certain sections of the people in the Muslim community also where the reservation has been done, like as well done in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, as well as in Gujarat. Here also it has been done in that. But giving extra 10% to again exclusively for the Muslims, we claim that it has been removed. The BC community is getting diluted, because from 56% it has come to 42%, and again 10% if you remove in that, there will be just left with only 26%, 32%. So 26% earlier, the BRS government has done, from 26 to it has come to 32% in that. So it's got a point by
point. Let me get Syed Asad Abbas to actually answer that. The fact that it's not just about the BC class, the BCE class, which already the Muslims are part of, and I believe it is somewhere about 4% of reservations which is allowed, but that is restricted. That is restricted. But now bringing them to the BC quota, it goes all the way across to 42%. Is there mischief underfoot, is what BJP is asking?
Firstly, let me set this record on straight. Mr. Subhash of BJP has not been able to answer my question. You have a great problem, sir, when Congress does Muslim appeasement in Telangana, but you don't have problem in your own, in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Manipur,
that's what I'm telling.
Uttar Pradesh.
I think I made my point
sir,
here.
I did not interrupt you. Please don't interrupt me, please. So you are not able to justify that, but still I will take a short.
But Congress is not like the BJP, Syed Asad Abbas. You are the champions of Dalits, isn't it? Champions of those who are actually part of the BC. What about the rest of them, is what many are asking. For example, the non-Muslim backward class, which is 46.25%, as per your quota, your survey, is 1.64 crore rupees. Are you not doing injustice to them?
The fact of the matter is, let me clearly state a couple of points here I have with Mr. Revanth Reddy. Revanth Reddy in his statement has made it very clear that the backward class which exists 1979, even before Telangana and bifurcated from Andhra Pradesh. Now coming to the point, sir, did angels or the dreams or nightmares come to Revanth Reddy? He's done that? No, sir. There was a caste census survey which was held. Based on that, the report is right here in front of me. Based on that, the BC, the SC, the ST, the Dalits, reservations were made accordingly. And if my Hindu brothers, if my Muslim brothers belong to BC,
let me quickly take closing comments from NV Subhash. Do you buy this argument that all of it is scientifically done under the caste survey? It's not about religion, as Revanth Reddy has said, even though MC Abbas had earlier said that it is about Muslims and the religion. The Revanth Reddy government has said it's not really about the religion, it is the fact that they are poor. And that's the only criteria. Do you buy that?
Yeah. Yeah, see, there is a cap on, just above 50% reservations. Religious-based reservation is not acceptable, which is Indra Sahani versus rest of the India, which has been given by 9 bench Supreme Court judges in 1992.
Why are you giving in?
Knowingly that, let me, please.
Why are you doing it in?
Knowing that, again you wanted to again bring, this quota in that, but thus depriving the BC quota. For example, in 2020, when the corporation was elections held in the Telangana in Hyderabad, out of 150, 50 the BC the reservation was made, and then in that out of that Muslims have entered. So the 35 the corporators have been elected in that. It is the depriving the right of the BCs. We are not
actual backward classes. Are they being denied their rights by pushing in vote bank politics and their consideration? Does the math really add up? We are running out of time, but appreciate it. NV Subhash for joining us, as well as Asad Abbas here on the show. We'll leave it up to the viewers. Should there be religion-based quotas in India? Does the Constitution allow for it? More importantly, in the guise of poverty, are they pushing in a minority appeasement agenda? We leave you, the viewers, to decide. Without a short break.